Welcome back to Is It True News. I am feeling much better. Thank you all so much for tuning in again. Well, you really don't need a crystal ball to understand what's going on. As we mentioned in our previous videos, this was going to happen. And happen on a scale like you've never seen before, is what we said. But first of all, let me reiterate. 528 Hertz music, 432, 936. Play it out loud a few times a day, especially the 528 Hertz music, and it will stop a freight train. It will stop a hurricane. This is God's music. Along with prayer, you have the power to stop these things. End of story. It is a simple thing, but all those that have a relationship with God knows that that's what it's all about. What's simple. Now, Gideon had posted on our G Plus page about looking at where the sanctuary cities are and laying a transparent sheet on top of that and marking where the no-go zones are. This is for the takedown of America's power grids and supplies so that the Muslims or the Soros-paid idiots can take the control of the ports and the power plants, etc., all in one night after a disaster hits, which they did try to do in Houston, as we had mentioned. Now we see this category 7 hurricane, which there really isn't a category 7, but they're moving up to classifying it as a category 7, just like the movie that was put out some 9 years ago with Dennis Quaid. But more importantly, we put out a video talking about the planned nuclear accidents. So what's happening is the fires on the West Coast, Houston, and the Louisiana coast along through there got hit hard with floods. Now we're seeing flooding going to be on the East Coast. So that leaves the center of the U.S. to destabilize, shall we say. So as you see, this is an attack by whomever you want to call them, the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers. Now, the big question you have to ask yourself is the government, everybody's government, whether it be the U.S. government, EU, Belgium, Chinese, they have enough armies to go out and wipe out these evil devils, the Rothschilds, take out Israel, who's causing this destabilization in the Middle East, and stealing property and land and killing children with phosphorus bombs. But they don't. They'd rather kill off millions of Americans than to kill out the real evil demons that walk among us. In a previous video, we also mentioned that in 2008, that's when Hollywood started to replace its people with, whether it's alien hybrids or the spirit of aliens, we don't have anything to test that. But we do know for sure is that worm-like creatures are planted in people, and they do grow and take over. Now these rife frequencies and 528 and Dr. Virtual 7 has a nanobot frequencies that will kill the nanobots. Now the fires are caused because of the chemtrails dropping flammable particles, and any little heat spark will take it on. So they're killing off the wildlife and game. They are killing off the crops with fire and water. And there are newscasts out there that are saying that some of these people from Houston in surrounding areas in Texas had went to Walmart FEMA camps. And like CNN, I think it's Fox and CBS, have newscasts out saying that these people are never going to go home, and they're going to go to re-education camps because they're now going to be entered into the New World Order. Now, if this doesn't scare you, it should. Do not, I don't care if your neck is up to water and you know, and you're on your last breath. Do not take a ride with FEMA or the Red Cross. Neighbors helping neighbors. But if you do, like we suggest, with the frequencies, you will be protected along with prayer. Now, the God tones are very good too. You know, there are many out there that are free on YouTube. I suggest you start playing them now if you didn't listen before, especially those on the East Coast. What do you have to lose? I mean, really, you either play these tones or die. I'm sorry about the stringent message. I don't want to make this much longer than it is, but I'm feeling much better, and I'll be doing more research on the organ harvesting, which is going to be going on. So do not separate yourself from your family and friends during an emergency. Start now. Start putting dog food and cat food and grain in the plastic bags along with blankets. And get a tent if you have to. If you can afford to, get a tent. Start storing water and water bottles if you can't afford to go out and get bottled water. You cannot trust the government. As you all know, Trump isn't in charge. I mean, the deep state is still in charge. It's going to take a long time to clear those people out. And one hand doesn't listen to the other, because the U.S. corporation government has been so out of control for so many years. It is plain ridiculous, which I'm sure you all know. I'll be back later on with more information and doing some research now that I'm feeling better. I'm able to speak and move around, which is good. And I cannot say enough about B17 if you have cancer. I can't say that it's a cure without getting in trouble, but I cannot say enough good things about it, because for many people it works. It gets rid of cancer. Frequencies from the Rife machine will get rid of cancer. Everything is a frequency. This is what we've been trying to drive home for the last 3 years. Although this channel has only been on for about a year, we did have previous channels that got shut down. And I'm going to try and post the video on the eclipse, which I was able to film. I got out of my deathbed and filmed it. But for some reason I haven't been able to post it. And it's going on a couple of weeks now. Anyway, stay safe. Remember that your mind is more powerful than anything. You can actually think away the hurricane. And if you don't know how to do stuff like that, you get on your knees and you ask God to show you. So stay safe, God bless, and take care of you and yours.